thank you for coming on my show today.
Thanks for inviting me.
Well, tell our viewers who you are and what you do.
Well, my name is AJ Rassamni, and I'm the president of Blackstone Merchants Association since 2016. And I decided to run, or I am running for District 7 council member.
What a big job. What a big undertaking.
You know what? I never thought I'm going to run. I had so many people ask me in the past, you do so much for the community. Why don't you run for an office? No. I'm not in politics. I don't want to be involved in politics. I just want to do what's right for the people, for the community in Fresno. But then Nelson Esparza turned out, and he was the person I go to whenever I need something in the city. And he assigned a code enforcer to work full-time with me on Blackstone too. So, and I figured, okay, if Nelson's not there, then I'm not going to have the support that I have, then I have no choice but to run. But I was never in politics. I never thought I'm going to be in politics.
And you made a lot of changes. I think that people don't know is how much you've done for the community, how much you've done on Blackstone. Can you want to share some of that?
Well, it started in 2016, and it started because I had my car wash on Blackstone in Dakota, and my car wash was being broken in about an average 10 times per month. And all the businesses around me, same issue, but a lot of them filed bankruptcy, a lot of them closed, a lot of them changed hands 3-4 times within a year. So the thing is, when there's a problem, we can complain or we can do something about it. So I decided to do something about it. So we started Blackstone Merchants Association. It's basically a business watch. We got to know each other. We started watching for each other. Then we got code enforcer to work with me full-time on Blackstone. And so he represents the city, and I follow his lead by knowing that we need to do it by the law, by what the city wants. But also I have my connections through the city that I can request certain things that he cannot. So together we create a good partnership. And 2016, like I said, we had 10 break-ins on average. Hotels in the area were all local residents, so it was also a problem. We had a nonprofit organization for mental illness. They used to service people daytime, then nighttime. They closed 5 o'clock, and all these people were everywhere in the area. So we had a lot of problems, and that's what causing the problems. So we created good neighbor policy for the nonprofit. We created good neighbor policy for the hotel. And by 2018, I moved all the fences, I moved all the gates from my business, and so did other people in the area, because we had no more break-ins.
That is really impressive. How did that happen?
Again, it's working together as a business watch, creating good neighbor policy, everybody watching for the other. So basically that's what happened. But then when COVID hit, everything turned back, and even to worse. And I cannot blame the hotels, because the hotels have mortgages and they need to pay. So the city was giving them a lot of money to house homeless people and turn the hotel to a shelter. So after 2021, it became worse than what it was in the past.
Oh my goodness.
And we had to start one more time, creating a neighborhood policy, the good neighborhood policies. But the issue is somehow the city decided that Blackstone, which is the backbone of the city, we're going to turn into a shelter. So they bought a lot of hotels, a lot of other people bought hotels, and they turned into a shelter.
I think a lot of people don't know this, what's happening.
Yeah. So let me explain what a shelter is. Shelter is not housing. Shelter is temporary housing that somebody can be there for 1 day, can be there for 1 week, could be there for 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months. That's it. Then they have to let them go. But when they turned those hotels to shelters, they brought people from out of the area. They put them in our area. We have gang members, we have pimps, we have drug dealers. So I don't know who was in the hotel, but the thing, and I told that to the city, I said, look, when you're going to bring people from out of the area and put them here, you're going to bring in the entourage of people with them. We're going to follow them. And we had over 800 people on Blackstone that came to Blackstone, followed these people in the shelters. And that created a big problem. So when the city purchased Clarion Point, which is right next to 3 schools, within 1,000 feet from 3 schools, and they purchased it without going back to the residents and say, hey, we're going to purchase this over here. They just purchased it and brought people and put them there. So we said, I sent a letter to the city. I said, okay, now you purchase it. No problem. We have it over here. But let's put the right people in. Let's put our neighborhood homeless people instead of bringing people from the outside. Okay? And then I said, we have, I did a town hall meeting. And I called the mayor and a few council members. I said, we're going to have a town hall meeting. And we set the date. Within 2 weeks, we had 180 people attend.
Wow.
Okay? And the principal of Aspen, school Aspen, they own 3 different schools. They have a school 1,000 feet from that hotel. She said, look, currently we have 22% of our kids and their family are homeless. Let's put these people in the hotel. So it was an excellent town hall meeting. Nothing happened. Then within 30 days, I had 650 signature petition saying, let's put these people in the hotel, and then nothing happened. Okay, so we still have the same shelter for the same people that have been in it and entourage around it. So what we did recently is I got another petition basically saying, we watched organization dropping people on Blackstone. So organization dropping people on Blackstone, tell them go wait on this private property, and then when we're going to serve you, we're going to go to that private property to serve you. So basically, they're telling them, trespass on this property, and then we're going to trespass on this property to serve you. So I met with that organization. I met with the HEART team, and I said, look, we need good neighborhood policy from you too, because that's what's creating the issue on Blackstone. I said, you cannot tell people to go to private property. You cannot serve people on private property. And your policy, the good neighborhood policy, should be that you should tell any homeless person, if you are on private property, we're not going to serve you. Does it make sense?
Right.
Be responsible. Obviously, we couldn't agree. So I sent the petition to the city and I sent it to the media.
What happened with that?
For some reason, Blackstone is clean. I don't know why, but for some reason, Blackstone is clean today. I'm not going to say it's 80 to 90% cleaned up because I think I put it in the media because normally I deal with the city. And I want to say I have a very good relation with the city. The HEART team, the mayor gave me a priority with the HEART team. Whenever there's something on Blackstone, they're going to help me.
That's good.
You know, so that's important. Like I said, Nelson Esparza, he has a dedicated code enforcer working with me on Blackstone, so that's very good. But what I'm saying is the city works with the symptoms. So we come, we see somebody trespassing property, we're going to move them. But the question is, where do they go?
Right, exactly.
So because when I see homeless people on private property say, hey, you cannot be over here, the first question they ask me is, where do I go? So the city doesn't have an answer for that, and we need to find that solution. And I have the solution for it, which I've asked the city many times.
So where do they go?
Okay, that's the question. The city doesn't have that answer. So I've talked to homeless advocates. And basically, do you know, by the way, before I tell you, do you know that an average of 6 women, homeless women, get raped every night?
That doesn't surprise me. That's very sad.
Okay, so that's statistic they gave me. And they told me about 48% of the homeless are some kind of handicap too. Okay?
I've heard that.
Yeah, okay. So basically, those homeless people today, you cannot be homeless unless you're on drugs. You cannot. You cannot survive outside in the element unless you're on drugs. So either the drug addict or they're mentally ill. And by law in California, you cannot force anybody to a rehab. They need to ask for it.
Right.
Okay. So I said, let's have safe zones. Let's have safe zone for them. Every district can have a safe zone. You cannot be anywhere on my property, on Blackstone, or anywhere in Fresno. If you're in this district, this is your safe zone. You can go to that safe zone. The safe zone is going to be self-managed. It's going to have wraparound service. And for me, I say the methadone clinics should be part of it. Because if they take the methadone every day, eventually the edge is gone, then they're going to say, I need help. So, but that's a solution. But the way the city works, and I'm not attacking the city of Fresno, but the way government works as a whole is If you go to your house and there's a flood, what do? The first thing you do is, did you get the bucket and throw the water out, or you find a source and you shut it? You find the source of the water, you shut it first.
The best option.
And then you take the water out. But the way the government works is we have the bucket. We have the bucket. And that's why in the last many years, number of homeless people is going up. So California spent over $24 billion on homelessness last few years. But yet, problems going up. We have 1/3 of the homeless people in the United States are in California.
That's very sad.
Fresno spent, I don't know, between $200 to $400 million, and we're not solving the problem. So what's the definition of insanity?
Doing the same thing over and over.
If you keep on doing the same thing over and over and expect different results. And this is what we're doing. So we need to change what we're doing if we want to get different results.
So the safe zone in each city that you're proposing, it would start with your district that you're running for?
Yes. So I proposed it to the city before. I said, get one safe zone, mega safe zone. They said, no, nobody wants it in my backyard. Then I said, let's create 7. We have 7 districts. Each district has 1. No, we're not going to do that. Then I said, let's create a partnership between Fresno, Clovis, and the county. And then the cost will be split between all 3.
What they say?
No, no response on it. But basically because, to be honest, every politician, every person in office, we put politics before people. And I'm saying it's time to put people before politics. Let's do what's right.
So if you, get the seat, what do you plan to do? Do you plan to have your safe zone? And where would you put it? Whose backyard are you putting?
Definitely. So let me tell you, that's very good. I've been walking and knocking at doors. And everybody in Fresno, at least my district, are fed up with politics, saying nothing happens. I only hear when person wants to vote, then I don't hear back from them. Okay, so people are fed up with the politics, saying we need to come first. We don't want paying the taxes, and we need to get some services. The roads. A few weeks ago, I was driving, and there's a sinkhole. Hole and on the road, and my tire got slashed, and it cost me over $300 to fix.
Oh my God, where was this?
Yeah, I'm not going to say it. But the roads have to be fixed. The city said 3 years ago in the budget, that our roads would take $600,000 to fix. Today, 3 years later, they're saying $1.2 million. And when they're saying $1.2 million, it's most like $2.5 billion. $1.2 billion. It's going to be $2.5 billion, really. So 3 years from today, how much is it going to be? $5 billion, if we don't move and fix them. So we need to give priority to what needs to be done.
Well, and we do fix them. It takes forever. It'll be like under construction for like a year. I think that's a big problem too.
Yeah, but that's something we need to give priority. I'm walking and I see the walkway. It's like an A. It's like an A, and I've seen that it was fixed before. Yet it just got worse. Why? Because the roots of the tree grew more, and then they lifted it more. So why not, when we go fix it the first time, why not put root barrier so it doesn't happen again?
Right.
So we need to change the way that we work. What we need is a businessman that runs a small business and knows and gives a different perspective. Because you tell me, everybody in the office, how many of them held a real job?
You're right.
You need, from business perspective, we need to run Fresno.
And I like that you say a small business too. I think that's really important as well, that you add that.
You need to run Fresno as a small business. You need to come up with innovative ideas, test them. I say, throw them over the wall. Once you create innovative ideas, test them, bring it back, improve them, test them back, and send them back. So we need to always come up with innovative ideas instead of just working with the symptoms. We need to find the cause, work on it, at the same time work with the symptoms. Otherwise, the water is running nonstop. So we need to shut the water first.
Well, so if you get the seat, where are we putting the homeless people?
We'll find a place. As a matter of fact, knocking at doors, I tell that I tell everybody, and everybody said, yes, this is right. This is what we have to do. So we will find a place to put them. You want them to be all over Fresno? or you want to put them in a certain location. Self-managed, with wraparound service, with methadone, and that's the only solution, at least I know of. It's better than what we have today.
But then everyone's gonna say, I don't want to live right next to it. So where are you gonna put that? Have you figured that out?
You know what? When somebody gets elected, okay, politician gets elected, they normally get elected by 50.1% of the votes. If they got elected by 54% of votes, that's called a landslide. You don't need to get 70 and 80% approval before you do something. And this is where the politicians are stuck today. Oh, no, I cannot do this because I have certain group of people saying no. You don't have to satisfy everybody. You are elected to make decisions on their behalf, and you got elected by 50.1% of the votes. So they need to have the courage to say, I'm going to do what's right. I got elected to make decisions on your behalf.
Oh, that's very true. So where do we stand right now how Blackstone's moving? You said it got better. It got worse. It was bad, worse. It got better.
It got better temporary, I say, because we don't have a solution. They've been moved. So when G Street got cleaned in the past, if you remember how G Street looked like Skid Row, where did these people go?
Where did they go?
You tell me. Okay? They stayed in Fresno. They moved from one place to the other. That's what happened. That's why Blackstone is what it is today. When they cleaned Parkway, what happened to these people?
Right.
Okay, they moved. And they're always going to move next to a place that you have market, you have water, you have food, because they need to survive. And Blackstone is a natural place for them to move.
Right. They're not going to be out in the country where there's nothing.
No, of course not. And that's why you need to put in place with the wraparound service that everything exists for them.
Right. Well, no, that's great. So then people are going to be like, well, how do we pay for this? Where are the taxpayers' money? So how do we, once we do their self-contained area, how do we pay for that?
Good question. We're paying for it today, and we're paying more than what we should. Why? Because today you have to have more police officers. You have the taxpayers paying for it. The city doesn't count that. For example, Jeb's Blueberry on Blackstone and Dakota. They moved to Clovis. Why they moved to Clovis? Because they were been breaking in on a regular basis. So they moved there now. Actually, the owner said she can sleep at night. Okay, so the business prosper more than here. So the guy, the owner, Major, tried to rent it out or sell it, and nobody wanted to rent or buy in that area because they called it a slum. What happened in 6 months? He has over $200,000 in damage. They got multiple fires inside. They stole his compressor from the AC, and you go look at it now, the whole front is burnt. So we can save a lot of money by creating a safe zone. Taxpayers save money. The city saves money because you don't have the police. You're going to save money on the police, on the calls. Let me give you another example. Do you know that homeless is 1% of the population of Fresno?
Oh, wow.
Okay. Yet between 40 to 50% of the fires are created by homeless. That's how you save money. You save money from calls. You save money for the police, for the fire. I'll give another example. If a property has, a shopping center has homeless people camping in it, and I go help them clean it. Within 30 days, they tell me the breakdown to our property, to our business, went down to 0. And our revenue went up 30, 40, 50% within 30 days, organically. That's how you save money. The city would generate more money by making the area safer. The business people, the investors, will hire more people to work, will have more business, will open maybe another business, and that's going to generate more money for the city. The city is going to save money by having less calls for service for police and the fire department.
No, I definitely believe it. So initially there might be, on the onset, it seems like we're spending a lot of money to create this safe haven, but as time goes on, we're actually saving. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, there's no money. You just have to find a piece of land and say, okay, this is your safe zone. So there's no money, just find a piece of land.
Well, we do have to pay for the safe zone.
Well, the safe zone is a property owned by the city or by the county.
Right.
Okay, and you say, okay, this is where you're going to be. So there's no cost for it. But the cost is going to be the saving of costs for the police, the fire, and the businesses that they pay most of the bill. And that money is not counted by the city.
Right.
I'll give you another example. There is Boston Market. It's on Blackstone and Dakota. So Boston Market closed, and the property owner leased it to a Chinese restaurant they're going to open. But he had to fix the inside. So every night, he fixed the outside, he put the lights, he put cameras. Next morning, they're stolen. He fixed the inside.
The cameras were stolen?
Yeah.
Wow.
They stripped also the wires from the lights. He fixed the inside. During the day, he has crew fixing the inside. At 5 o'clock, they board it up, they secure it. They come next morning, it's vandalized inside. How do you expect somebody to fix a place if that the problem is from the outside coming to the inside? Yet what the city does, they blame the business people, the victims. They criminalize the victims, say it's your responsibility. Why is this homeless person on your property? Who's responsible for that? Who's paying taxes for who? We're paying taxes for them to provide the security for us. So the perspective is wrong. We cannot blame the business people. We need to take responsibility and say, we need to take care of this issue. By taking care of this issue, Fresno is going to prosper. We have people, the kids cannot walk to school because of the shelter next to the school within 1,000 feet. And you have people hanging outside. How would they allow their kids to walk to school in front of gang members and drug dealers?
Right.
Whose responsibility is that?
That's crazy. It's crazy that's happening. It's, wow. So when you come in, you're going to help the homeless situation. What else are you going to do for us?
Okay, so we have, and I'm not trying to criticize the city because I have a lot of friends, but the city always brags that they rolled the red carpet. And I talked recently at the city hall. I said, yes, but that red carpet, from my experience in the last 10 years, is full of Velcro. When somebody steps on it, it gets stuck for 2.5 years. So we need to change the way we approve permits. I'll give you another example. I have somebody bought a building for $2 million 2 years ago. $2 million. He's paying the mortgage on $2 million. He still doesn't have all the permits to build. So how do you expect that person to last? We need to change the process to make it a lot faster, more friendly. Go to Lancaster, for example. Lancaster, within 30 days, you get your permits. So why are we not the same?
Why are we the same? What are some of the reasons that you've seen? Why we're not
So
the same?
I was at the council member a month ago, maybe, almost. So there was, what to call it, planning department. Mm-hmm. They wanted to pass a ministerial that it's for office dwelling, for example.
Okay.
Okay. So basically, any office building, we can turn it to residential. We can build dwelling on top of it.
Okay.
And they wanted to have the power to approve those. And the city council majority 4-3 said no, because you're going to take the power away from us and give it to your employees. We hire you to do the work. How are you going to take that power away from us? But the question is, you hired those people because they're expert at what they do. So they have the power on top, but the knowledge is here on the bottom. Okay? So if you want something to happen, you need to bring the power to the bottom, to the people who have the knowledge for them to make that decision. So if you look at Tesla, you look at Facebook, they have one-level management. So any person have the power to make a decision. If you walk, is this not your department? You walk in a different department, you see a problem, you identify a problem, it's your responsibility to fix it. So the city is saying, no, we're going to have the power, even though you have the knowledge, everything has to come through us. But politicians are affected by what? The aspiration for the next office, the NIMBYism, and the special interest. So you shouldn't be making the decision. You hired these people to make the right decision. So the planning department, they look at Fresno as a game board, like a monopoly. When you create a rule, a policy is going to apply to everybody. Mm-hmm. And so they are not affected by any political ambition, any special interest. They should be given the power to process things a lot faster. But the city council member, they still can have the power to call any project and say, hey, we need to question it. But give them the power, what you hired them for, to do what they're supposed to do. Don't hold them back. So that's one of the things I'll be doing too. So we need, did you know that we, in Fresno, we only build 26% of the housing we need every year?
I have heard of that. That's right. We're in a crisis.
Yeah. So let's remove the red tape. Let's remove the Velcro. Give the power to the people that can make that decision.
Well, I agree with you. That sounds really good. No, this is really good. So you seem to have a lot of really good, solid plans about what you want to do.
You know, like I said, from 2016, I started Blackstone Merchant Association. I put my own time and my own money to do what I do. And people ask me why you do it. But that's the purpose of my life. That's what I wake up every morning to serve others. So I suffered a lot in 2016. I lost millions of dollars because of the situation. Like I said, people around me lost their life savings, lost their business. So I don't want that to happen to other people. So that's why I said, if I'm not going to do it and step forward, who's going to do it? If not me, who?
Right.
And now, again, the opportunity is to become a council member, to have more power, to do more instead of asking for it. And I want to turn District 7 to the example that the city has no choice but to follow.
Well, yeah, that would be a big thing if this all goes well with the safe area and all of that. That would definitely make a lot of changes.
It's going to be people before politics. I mean, you look at me, I have no political ambition. I'm already too old. I'm 61 years old. So
you're not too old.
61 years old. So I'm not going to be working till I'm 80 or 90. So this is all what I want to do. Council member, 4 years or 8 years, and that's it. I'm out. So for me, there's no special interest going to affect my future.
Right.
So that doesn't exist. But I need to do what's right for the people.
No, I think that's a great solid plan. I'm glad you have all these like visions too, and you kind of know because you already dealt with this for like the past decade.
Yeah. So the difference between me and the other two running is they're in politics since they were 18 years old. That's all they did in politics. And for me, I don't say I promise. I say I've already been doing it. It's a proven result. I'm already doing all this for you. For example, I have a nonprofit called Success From Within, and I give scholarship for the kids. Elementary kids. I did it at Del Mar this year. So at the end of the year, we got the result, the iReady result. And we had in reading, we have a system how we run it. So we motivate the kids before we give them the reward, the scholarship. We give 6 per class. One for the best in reading, best in math, most improved in reading, most improved in math, most improved behavior, most improved attendance. So we give 6 per class, 20 classes every month. We do it half a year only because we compare before and after. So we start January. So February we give for January, and we do it for 6 months. We give that. So I got the results. This year we had an iReady for reading 300%, up to 300% improvement in the class. We have another in iReady for math. We had 500% improvement. That's within 6 months. And the cost is $4,000 per year, which is less than $10 per student per year. That's a result. Because the future of Fresno depends on education.
How long have you been doing this with the scholarships?
Well, look, I came to the United States in 1985 to LA in 1987. And then in 1994, I got involved in a nonprofit in LA called Mid-Valley Jeopardy Foundation, working with the kids. And always my goal is giving back to the kids. So this is the first year we did that the whole year. I've done it in the past, just end of the year and give scholarship. But this time we did it every month. And before we give the scholarship, we have speakers. And the speakers, the team of them, when they speak, we have 3 to 6 speakers every time.
Wow.
It's the theme for them to speak and motivate the kids is success comes from within. The environment doesn't matter, it's you. And the only person competing with is yourself. So if you want to change from here. That's where it comes from. So we have that then, and that's really, it's what I call the wind. So the wind is an invisible force. So when you see it, it's called the Wind and Wave Scholarship. So the wind is an invisible force. When you see the waves and see the velocity of the waves, say, oh wow, but you don't realize that the wind is what caused it. So when we talk to them, motivate them, that success comes from within. If it is to be, it is up to me. And then when they get the scholarship, we have a line of people give them high fives.
I love that.
Okay, and I have pictures where people hug me. And they want to go, so I call that transformation. And then the wave is the result, which is 300% to 500%.
I love this, AJ. Where can we follow you and see what you're doing and where your speaking engagements are? Do you have social media?
Yeah, so it's AJ for City Council on Facebook, AJ for City Council, Instagram too, AJ for City Council on X, and the website's AJ for City Council. It's very easy.
Thank you so much for coming on the show today. I think it's great, and I love how you have all these solid plans.
And successfromwithin.org.
And remember that. So if someone wants to help a scholarship, they can do that.
Yeah, and I really need money because the goal is to expand to 10 schools this year, and it's $4,000 per school.
That would be great. That would be great. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you.
Felt right in the moment, felt right in the summertime, it felt right drinking cherry wine with you. Just wanted to own it, just wanted to take the time, learn all the things that I could about you. Now it's such a mess here, oh we are just stressed here, used to be so easy with you. Now I must confess here, oh I must confess dear, don't think I'm in love with you. Winter is coming and I don't know what to do, and there's no more use in running, no more running to you, and I don't want your loving, I don't wanna be just friends, knowing all this time we were playing pretend.
It's a mystery.